We all know that Mario is big business for Nintendo, and perhaps that has never been more the case than in the wake of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, with Nintendo progressively exploring theme park attractions, stores, and broader IP and merchandising activities. The Nintendo Switch has earned the mustachioed mascot the title of the king of all he surveys, but the Nintendo Switch has been no slouch on delivering up Mario games with a whopping 4 Mario titles just in 2024, plus 2 spin-off games, meaning that the console has definitely earned the right to be called, as indeed Nintendo are calling it, the home of Mario and Friends, which is one of the slogans Nintendo has recently used in its advertising, a slogan I feel they're likely to revisit in due course as well. However, what does the road ahead hold for the jubilant Jumpman? I've already looked recently at how changes to the third parties who once produced the series Mario and Sonic at the Olympics and Mario plus Rabbids may lead to a reduced offering potentially from the third party space. But with September 2025 marking the 40th anniversary of the original Super Mario Bros. Game, an anniversary Nintendo has historically been very keen to push, there are certain things we can likely expect. Given that the 35th anniversary boasted Super Mario Bros. 35, it would seem odd not to have a Super Mario Bros. 40 for the 40th, given that the game is practically already made and just needs hooking up to the Nintendo servers once more. Whether they give it a bit of a spruce up in some respects, perhaps adding in some aesthetics from different Super Mario Bros. Titles, and perhaps if they decided to go with a different Battle Royale take on Mario, like Dr. Mario or Mario Kart, Super Mario Bros. 35 may not be reincarnated just yet. However, I think there's a 70% chance that we get some kind of exclusive online Mario game, and if there is one, there has to be a 70% likelihood that it's going to be Super Mario Bros. 35 in some kind of new form. On the subject of an anniversary retail title, things are dicier. Of course, 2020 did have Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but it seems unlikely that this limited edition game would come out of the vault again. For one thing, Super Mario 64 is already on the Nintendo Switch Online, and Super Mario Sunshine may not be too far behind. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is obviously the title that has had the longest wait since being revived, though Super Mario 3D Land is getting up there as well, but it's difficult to imagine that they'd want anything major like this to compete with the inevitable next 3D Mario around this period. Indeed, this feels more redolent of 2015, where Mario Maker was sufficiently a seismic title to carry the day. Here, Mario Kart and 3D Mario are individually huge enough to carry an anniversary, but together, their Brobdingnagian stature will remove any need for additional anniversary action. Of course, the question then becomes when to schedule these and how. I remain of the view that Mario Kart would be an exceptional launch title for the next system, but if it's not, it's difficult to imagine the system waiting very long for a Switch release for Mario. This chart shows the age of the system in days before a Mario Kart released, and as you can see, while waits of over a year are not unprecedented, most systems receive a Mario Kart game within a year, and 3 of these were within 6 months. However, it does feel conceivable that they could save an anniversary game for the big finish of their anniversary blowout window, which is usually the end of the fiscal year the following March. Therefore, I would say 90% we will see Mario Kart drop before the end of March 2026. Of course, Nintendo isn't just servicing the successor console, but will want to serve Switch owners too. Indeed, with the advertising focus being on Mario and Friends, the plumber and his mates will have notched up 6 different titles this calendar year. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Princess Peach Showtime, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. This huge expansion of Mario-ness is not unprecedented, as the late-stage 3DS also had a major Mario dump period, and it seems to be part of Nintendo's strategy to maximize the market penetration of older, more established systems by leveraging their most iconic and child-friendly major character in the final years of a system's life. It's why I would think it's 70% likely we can expect to see something in the Yoshi vein coming by the end of March 2026, probably a port of Woolly World, but further games are trickier to predict. Although on 3DS 2016 and 2017 boasted 4 Mario games each, 2018 slowed down with just Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Luigi's Mansion, and then Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey, which rounded out 2018 in Japan but dropped early in 2019 elsewhere in the world. I think Nintendo may push the Switch games a little more, given that it is an anniversary year and the Switch has a huge install base, but they will still want to keep the scale relatively small so that they don't eclipse their mainline new system. One game I think has a good, perhaps 50% shout, is a port of the Wii new Super Mario Bros. Title, and perhaps even a new Super Mario Bros. Collection. With 2 years having elapsed next October since Super Mario Bros. Wonder hit shelves, another 2D title would not impact sales too much, and Nintendo have already hit up the Wii for ports recently with Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and so new Super Mario Bros. Wii would make a sensible next step. It would be forward compatible with the Switch successor, but also a great one to make available for Switch owners who at this point might be looking for a major holiday game for 2025. I also have long expected another Mario sports title, and check out my previous video on Bandai Namco for the reasons why I think there is a team that have proved quiet recently, but who would be logical people to work on either a Mario sports compilation or a Mario baseball game. Mario Baseball has a history of coming very late in the life of Nintendo consoles. It hit GameCube in 2005, hit 3DS in 2017 as part of the Mario Sports Superstars package, and while it dropped a bit earlier in the life of the Wii in 2008, given that it's likely to appeal to only 2 of the 3 major Nintendo markets, Japan and America, but probably not Europe, it still feels like a title ideal for a late era system. The game is highly casual and with broad appeal in the American and Japanese marketplaces at least, so it would suit the Switch, a system with wide market penetration, far more than its successor. Also, Camelot are overdue a new Mario Tennis game, so I doubt the new system will have to wait more than a year or two before it has a premier sports title in the Mario brand. I give Mario Baseball a 50% chance to release by the end of 2026, and under normal circumstances, I might expect it to launch in June, which has been a traditional Mario release month for many years, although the arrival of the new console could, of course, throw this kind of scheduling for a spin. However, a problem Nintendo may be facing for the classic Switch is that they have almost run out of new Mario franchises to revive for the Switch. Mario Baseball remains out there, and there's even Mario Hoops, but this seems rather obscure. However, one franchise that seems long overdue for a revival is Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario World was moderately fun on mobile, and that code is presumably sat around somewhere. Longtime Dr. Mario devs Arika shipped Endless Ocean just this year, but in the past, their 99 titles have taken them about a year to turn around, so it is conceivable to me that Dr. Mario could return to the Switch in 2025 or possibly 2026. Another advantage, of course, is that as an online game, it locks in Nintendo Switch Online subscribers for even longer, giving Nintendo multiple bites of the double cherry to persuade these people to move over to the new system. One series I worry may not be coming to the surface anytime soon is Wario Land. I absolutely love the original Wario Land, and yet the garlic-eating good-for-nothing hasn't had his own platformer since 2010. The thing is, Nintendo are marketing Mario and Friends heavily, but Wario doesn't really count as a friend, and I'm not sure they're likely to be any rush to ship him into their movies, as I'm not sure they consider him that appealing a character. A port of Wario Land Shake It would represent the lowest hanging fruit available, and because of that, I think it's 50% likely that we'll see that series return in some form at least by the end of 2026, although personally I would love to imagine that some studio is working on a full remake of the original Super Mario Land 3, Super Wario Land. There's some hope because it hasn't come to NSO yet, of course, but I don't really think the more subversive and satirical Wario fits Nintendo's franchise goals for Mario, and notably Even the fairly frequent WarioWare games don't really make any referbacks to the Mario titles and the Mario world, and newer players might be forgiven for thinking that the WarioWare games are just similar sounding but different franchises from Mario, just like Pokemon and Pikmin don't actually have anything to do with each other. Another obscure Mario title is Mario Paint, and of course, reviving Mario Paint was a big part of the concept behind Super Mario Maker. I think Nintendo needs something new in the Mario space, though, as it's been a very long time since we've seen anything innovative. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit was an interesting twist on classic Mario Kart, but arguably we're going back to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle in 2017 to find the last truly revolutionary new take on Mario. I think there has to be a 30% chance that before March 2026 we see something quite new and original from Mario. A rhythm game after Super Mario Bros. Wonder's success, a battle tactics game from Bowser. Who knows, but I am intrigued. As for Mario's friends, they seem to be centering Toad, Peach, and Luigi, and any of these characters could be due for new games. My hunch is that Luigi's Mansion 4 is going to be an absolutely huge title for them this time out, so they will save it for Halloween, probably of 2026 or 2027, but either way, well away from the release window of the new 3D Mario. It is absolutely a holiday benchmark title. But a new Captain Toad treasure tracker isn't impossible to imagine, given that the team evidently liked developing it enough to launch a whole bunch of DLC levels years after the Switch release. But what do you see shooting down the warp pipe for next year? Let me know in the comments below. Check out also some of these Mario-themed videos on screen, including a video looking into another possible avenue for new Mario titles. And I shall just say thanks to the channel's Patreon supporters, and I shall see you next time for another Nintendo Forecast.